where girls and boys are educated together at school, or should they be separated? Maybe that's better. Who knows? We're going to find out today. Apologies, we've had trouble with the sound and I can't fix it. It seems like it's going to be a bit of a problem this morning, so I'm afraid we will have to grin and bear it and try our best. So please do be patient with me today as we go through the lesson. Okay, thanks. I can see you. Let you know I haven't solved the problem. It's still going to be there, but I'll try my best to kind of keep going. Okay, so we're talking about co-education, boys and girls being in school together, and, you know, what is the impact of that? And is it a good idea or not? We were beginning with some stuff around vocabulary. So we've talked about co-education as a noun, co-education, mixed schools or mixed gender schools, right? Your gender is whether you're male or female. Mixed schools. We also do talk about then the opposite, single-sex schools or separate schools. So single-sex is only boys, right? An only boys school or an only girls school. We also call it only boys school, for example. Separate schools, same idea. Only girls school. Only girls school. And we also use the expression an all boys school or an all girls school. I think you probably heard me at the beginning saying I went to an all boys school, right? It was only boys. So I've talked a bit about my school, but I also at the very beginning touched on a few idioms, right? And I'm just over idioms now because I think it's interesting. I mentioned some idioms about some very good teachers we had who made us really be creative and put our thinking caps on, right? So I've got here a couple of idioms. Let me share these with you. And this now seems to be a good time to do that. Idioms. I need to put my thinking cap on. So to put your thinking cap, a cap is like a hat. And if you put your thinking cap on, then you need to think hard about it. So if somebody asks you a question and you're not sure, you say, well, let me put my thinking cap on and I'll get back to you, right? If you've been thinking about something, I've been racking my brains about this problem and it's really thinking hard. I've been thinking hard about it, basically. And we had a teacher who's our history teacher, not the geography one. The geography teacher was great. He made us rack brains, right? He didn't spoon feed us. Oh, that's a good one. But he made us rack our brains. He made us really to rack, to shake, to think hard about something, right? That teacher was great. He didn't spoon feed us. He made us think. He didn't feed us. To spoon feed is to give you ideas and learning step by step with a spoon, like you feed a baby, right? You spoon feed a baby because they can't do it on their own, right? You need to spoon feed a baby. So some teachers spoon feed you. They give you the answers. That's not very good because you don't learn to think for yourself. So it's better when a teacher guides you. So spoon feeding, I don't think is very good. So a few other idioms. I'm going to hit the books, which means I'm going to study. Students do this when you're about to begin your homework. You say, right, I'm going to hit my books, or I'm going to hit the books. Some of your friends say, come on, we're going down the pub for a drink. Why don't you come? You go, no, 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 no. Tomorrow I'm going to study. Very, very simple. You don't literally hit the books, obviously. And when it comes to tests, I managed to sail through this test, is to like a ship sailing through over the water very smoothly, is to pass smoothly. And by the way, to pass, confused. Lots of students say to me, Keith, I passed my IELTS test today. And I say, oh, congratulations. And they say, oh no, I don't know the result. And I say, then you didn't pass your test. And they say, oh yes, I did. I say, no, you sat your test. Oh. So to pass a test is to succeed. But to do a test is to sit a test, right? Make sure a test, right? As a student, to pass is to succeed in a test. That's a very, very, very common mistake. Where are you? Here. To sit a test, to take a test. To pass is to succeed. And if you pass easily, you can say, I sailed through the test, or I passed my test with flying colours. Like a phoenix, I don't know, like a bird, a pretty butterfly, who knows where that comes from, with flying colours. I can see audio is not working. Oh no. Right, okay. I think you're right. I know how frustrating it is. If the audio is not working, we need to postpone the lesson because it's, oh dear, it's happening again. Okay. Oh, it's so frustrating. It is so frustrating. Technology. I can see why it's happening, but I don't know how to fix it. You can manage it, really? Let me listen to myself on YouTube. Let me see. Let's see if I can find myself and just listen how bad it is. Just bear with me, because if it's really bad, there's not much point. But, right, wait a minute. Right, okay, Keith, carry on. It's not that bad. Okay, it's going in and out. Okay. There's a bit of interference. It's going in and out. Right, my opinion is it's good enough to carry on. And the reason is because I'm unable to do the class tomorrow. I can see it's cutting. Oh, no. Right. I am unable to do the class tomorrow. So, guys, I'm going to carry on. It's not perfect, but hopefully there's enough here to help you with your study. Idioms here. I wonder if you have any other idioms. Let's see what you've done. Yes, teach a man to fish rather than giving him fish. Yes, and teach a woman to fish rather than giving her fish. Exactly, exactly. So listen, let's start. Let's move up. I'm going to begin with a question, and we will begin. So here, right, got a question. What are the pros So the pros are the benefits, right? Just to be clear, pros equals benefits. There's lots of words you can use, right? Benefits, upsides, advantages, the good points, all of these nice synonyms you can use in either speaking or writing. But what are the pros then? What are the pros of children being educated in a single? Now, if you're in the Facebook group, you may have watched some videos or read some information about this, and you may have some ideas. But let me know in the comment box, what do you think are the pros of children being educated in a single-sex school? Let me know. Okay, let's share a few ideas. Be more competitive. So the students can be more competitive in a single-sex school. That's interesting because there is research that certainly the girls and also boys actually are more comfortable being competitive with children of the same sex. Right. Here's another one from Lan An. Girls could focus more on study, no being distracted by the opposite sex, you would say here, by the opposite sex. Yes. Let me tidy you up a little bit, Lan An. Study not being distracted by the opposite sex. Yes. I think they would be more comfy. Right. Yes. Because maybe the boys are not thinking about the girls or distracted by the girls. The girls are not thinking about the boys, all of that. Yes. Now, no, this one I don't think so. Romain, both genders get to know each other in early ages. In a single-sex school, they don't, right? It's the opposite, right? So we're talking about single-sex. Yeah, KK is right. More concentration, an advantage, right? I think very much when they are teenagers, a lot of teachers say that in some schools where they're mixed, that the girls are thinking about the boys, they're thinking about their social interaction with the boys and not studying, and the boys the same. In a single sex, right, no such school in China. Interesting. Right, but question is, what are the pros? Sadaf, firstly, they can concentrate on their studies. Yep, good. Kanku, less distractions. Okay. Here's an interesting one, right? The students stand a fair chance in leadership roles. Yeah, that's very interesting because there is some research that shows some teachers have cognitive bias and they assume boys will be better leaders. And so when they choose the leadership role in the class, they choose the boys more than the girls. It's really bad. But one solution is have single-sex schools, and then the girls have the same opportunity as the boys. Interesting, right? Very interesting. Okay, let me share a couple of the ideas that I had around this with you. I think you've got lots of great ideas there. So let me just take this up. Okay, some ideas here. I'll bring myself down. Interesting. Some single-sex schools get better academic results, but there is little evidence to back this up. So you read a lot about these single-sex schools being better quality, right? And I remember at my school, I remember the marketing of the school was saying our academic results are much better. One of the reasons is single sex. But there is no or very little scientific evidence, educational research, to support that, to back this up. That's a so to support it. So it might not be true. It might not be true. Girls can be more expressive and speak up on topics they may not discuss if boys are around. Right. Again, this is observations from different teachers and students. Girls saying, in the girls' school, I just feel more confident to talk about a lot of things. But if there were boys here, I wouldn't talk. Participative, especially in science classes. And again, sometimes the problem in co-education schools is that there's an assumption by a lot of teachers that the boys do science and the boys are encouraged to do science and the girls are pushed towards the humanities, to the art subjects. And it can be a problem. Okay, students can be more focused on their studies is the other one here. Notice what I'm putting in bold. Notice I'm focusing on here, focused on, participate in, speak up on. I am making a big emphasis today on the grammar of words. And the grammar of words is particularly the preposition that goes with some words, especially verbs, right? A lot of students get confused. Is it, put in, put out, put on, put over, put under? And what does it mean? So when you learn a verb, focus on the grammar of the verb. How is it used? And today I'm going to highlight all of the prepositions is to speak confidently about something, to speak out, if you like. It's the same. Participate in something. So to be participative. Try and say that with me. Participative. They can be more participative in science classes. Right. Focused on. What else have we got? Teenage students can concentrate better. In times of puberty, you probably know, is, in English, is the stage when your body is changing. So when the boy becomes a man and the girl becomes a woman, around 13 or 14, your body is changing, hormones are changing, emotions are changing. That is called puberty. In times of puberty, notice the prepositions. Some people say, again, is there evidence to back this up? I don't know. Boys are not by stereotypes. They can excel in music and art if they want. So boys are not limited by stereotypes. Stereotypes is all boys like science. All girls are good at languages. Generally true, but not always true. These are stereotypes. It's a bit of a negative thing, stereotypes. So means limited. Limited by stereotypes. Yeah. Boys are not bound by stereotypes. So in the same way I said that girls are often not chosen for leadership roles, they're not encouraged to study science. Same with boys. Boys, if they want to study music, in co-education, they're often encouraged not to do that. They're encouraged to be a scientist. in an all-boys school, of course, you have all the subjects for all the boys, so they can excel in music. So excel is to be good, very good at, right? Be careful, right? Excel in, be good at. Hooray! Okay. Lots of ideas. So we've looked there at the pros, right? The good things about single-sex schools. Yeah, interesting. I mean, these are very good points, right? Danny says same sex in a class is boring. True, I agree. That was one problem in my school. It was very boring. Yeah. Fahima, if you can't use them, then you need to practice more. It's as simple as that. It really too much about them. Boys become stupid when they see a beautiful girl. I know, very true. Boys are like that. Right. Yeah, this is a good point. All the girls to set in an all single sex, the girls will be safe. Avoid sexual harassment, possibly, yes. Although it can still amongst the same sex, it can still be a problem, right? Okay. More comfortable, right? Okay. So let's move to. Let me move on. Come back here. And the next question is, so we've talked about the pros. What are the cons? What are the cons, right? The negatives of children being educated in a co-educational school. So boys and girls together. What are the downsides? Bear with me. No, I'm going to change that question. Let me. The advantages. Sorry, we've talked about the advantages of single-sex schools. What are the cons of single-sex schools? That's better. So what are the negative aspects of a single-sex school? Let's see. Give me your answer. Yeah, great. So here is that they feel less comfortable and confident when they have to talk with the opposite gender. Yes. Good. Nihat, same gender classes may be tedious. Very nice. Very nice. Yes. Lack of exposure. I'm going to add something here. We talked about the grammar of words. Lack of exposure to, right? The lack of exposure to the lack of social interactions. That's right. That is a problem. And maybe lack of then, if the classes are boring, lack of interest. And if they're not interacting with the other sex, lack of confidence. That was absolutely my problem for sure, right? When I was growing up, just after puberty, I had very little interaction with girls and it affected my confidence for a few years, right? For quite a few years. Oh, guys, it is all fun and games today. I have no idea what is going on today. The gremlins are in the house. I don't know. I'm really sorry. I really apologise. I've just changed to the headset. The whole software closed down and said your audio is rubbish. I think you're still there. Let me just check. Are you still there? I was like talking to myself for about a minute before I realized it had closed down. My connection is poor, I know. Oh, bad day. Tell me about it. Technology nightmare today. Oh, listen, I have to laugh. If I don't laugh, I will cry. Okay, brilliant. We were waiting. Thank you for waiting. Thank you. Yes, and thank you for coming back. Oh dear. Today is that Teacher's Day. Today's Teacher's Day. Is this a big joke, right? By Google and Facebook and YouTube. Today's Teacher's Day. Let's destroy their technology so they can't teach. Right. Right. A great question from. Let me share this question. Annihilation. Don't be sorry for curiosity. It's a great question. Why did you choose the education system? Why did I choose a single-sex school? Well, to be honest, I didn't. It was my parents that chose it for me, right? And this is really interesting. Some of the single-sex schools, because the academic results are better and marketed as better, that attracts parents. So my parents sent me to this school not because it was single sex, but because they thought I would get better academic results, right? In fact, I think they were a bit nervous about single sex. They would prefer not single sex, but the academic results was more important. Interesting. Right, okay. Yeah, Teacher's Day is different in every country, guys. It really is. It's different in every country. Teacher's Day. I love it. I love it when things go wrong, because it makes us realise we're really not in control, are we? We think we are, but we're not. Right, BS Bra. Similar situation, right? Yep. So it's about the parents. It really is. Okay, let's come back. Somebody, it was Kin or Lin, I've forgotten the comment you had. I don't know if I can find it. No, I can't find it, but you made a really good comment that I was going to follow up with everybody. Something, I can't remember what it was. I can't remember. I'm so distracted, not by the opposite sex, but by technology today. Come on, pull your socks up, pull yourself together. Found you, Kin. Not prepared for the real word. Great, the real world. So let me just help you a bit here. For the. Great. Kin Sandy Twin. There you go. Not prepared for the real world. And that's a really big question, right? If you put all the boys together in a school, they're not prepared for the real world, because the real world is not just all boys together, right? You have to interact with girls, you have to work with women, you have to build your life, family relationships with women and the other sex. So this is a really important point, right? Okay. Yeah. And this is a brilliant point as well. Thank you very much. Let's just dig in a bit here. Satyendra says less exposure to the opposite sex, right? We have to put in the article there, to the opposite sex, can lead to awkward social interaction. Thumbs up, Satyendra. What a great collocation. Awkward social interaction. Oh, love it. And lack of respect, which can lead to gender bias in the real world. Right, in the real world. Brilliant. Just add your articles. So the gender bias, right, is where you assume boys are different from girls. Now, if you've got all the boys together in a class, of course you think boys are different from girls. That's why you're separating them, because they're different. So you encourage people to think, oh, it's true, boys are different from girls. Now, of course, they're different in their sexuality, their gender, but are they different academically? No. Different people are different academically, but boys and girls are not different. Girls are not better at languages. Boys are not better at science. Not at all. It's just that they have more opportunity because they're encouraged to study science, and so you have this gender bias. Great, really good comment. Nice. I'm going to move on and just share with you some of the things that I wrote down, which kind of repeating what you said, but let's look at the language in a bit more detail. So kids don't understand the other sex, right? If you've only got girls in a classroom, maybe they don't understand boys, right? Or even worse, they have misunderstandings about them, which is a confusion about them, or a gender bias, an assumption. So to have misunderstandings, this is a great word, right? Whenever you see miss, it means negative. So not understanding, to have misunderstandings about them, right? Notice the grammar of the words. And as we just said, right, these schools encourage the stereotypes that boys and girls are different and need to be treated differently. So this is a criticism, right, that many people put of our Prime Minister, Boris Johnson. Went to an all-boys school, and he is criticised for treating boys and girls differently, for favouring boys above girls. And some people say it's because he went to an all-boys school, right? So he thinks boys are better at certain things, like leadership. That's what a lot of people say, right? Not what I say. I'm going to stay out of politics. Oh, by the way, did you watch the Trump and Biden debate the other night? It was very, very early in the morning here, but I tell you what, and I'm not getting political, but I watched 15 minutes and was so frustrated at the lack of real debate. They reminded me of two boys at age 16 in the school playground. You did that, no, you said that, no, you're a liar, no. I got frustrated and I turned off. It was so boring. Anyway, I'm not getting into politics at all. Let's look at language. It promotes gender stereotyping, right? Our friend just a minute ago talked about gender bias, but it's a similar thing, gender stereotyping, where you think boys like blue, girls like pink, right? Maybe that's true, but it's not always true. So that's called gender stereotyping. And the bigger picture may be that quality education doesn't depend on gender, right? It's more about the quality of the teachers and teaching, which is something I strongly believe, right? It's not really about is it boys or girls. It's the quality of the teaching, and the home setting counts a lot too, right? The setup at home. If you've got brothers and sisters and you've got lots of friends near your home who are boys and girls, then maybe you don't need co-education. Right, okay, let's see what you're saying. Gandip, kid is informal, so don't use it in writing, use it in speaking. Stereotypes are generalizations, Diksha. So a stereotype is a generalization where you assume everybody is a certain way. Yes. Nice. There's another one, meaning of stereotypes. Okay, let me just write that out. A stereotype. Maybe that's a new word for a lot of people. Stereotype equals a generalization. E.g., all boys like blue, not pink. Right? Not true. Look at my website. It's full of pink. I like pink. I like blue and pink. Okay. Yeah, very good. Good. 4 more years. Like it. Okay, so coming back to the point. Good. Some great comments there, all on this topic. Excellent. So that's great. We've talked about what? We've talked about the pros and cons of single-sex schools, right? Let's have a look at. Let me try and find some other notes, some other questions. Let's talk about co-education. Co-education. Co-education is boys and girls together. What do you think about co-education? Right? We're going to have some of the same arguments, but bear with me. What do you think about co-education? Niha, fingers crossed for you. Great. Co-education is extremely important in real life and in the long run. Nice expression, in the long run. Ooh. So true about debates. Right. Govinda, great. Nice to see you here. Good. Govinda says students cannot work properly due to lack of confidence and nervous mind at international platforms after studying at single-sex schools. Right. Right, lack of confidence and a nervous mind. I would say a nervous mindset, I think, would be nicer. A nervous mindset at international platforms. It's a good point about confidence, Govinda. I think it can affect confidence. That said, I think a lot of people get over that after 1 or 2 years when they go to university or when they start working. But maybe not. It depends on the person, right? Right. Parents' first choice is co-education. That tends to be true, yes. This is a good point, Mudit. Helps in improving skills for coordinating with the other gender. Yeah, remain, there are good sides and flip sides. So there are good points and bad points. Okay, great. Good. I'm going to move on to model answers. I'm going to flip the coin and ask you to ask me a question, right? It can be an IELTS question, it can be a personal question, maybe on education and co-education. Okay, so let's switch. Let's come to model answers. Dun, 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 dun. This is a chance for you to ask me and for you to listen as well to how I kind of structure my answer. Okay, let me take 1 or 2. Let me have a drink. All these gremlins. Right. Model answers. Let's have a look. What questions have we got? Any questions? Ask me a question. Habrit, I'm not answering that question. Okay, let's take this one. I'm going to take this question. What is the future of co-education? It's quite a good question. It's a very good question, I think. And I'm just going to put it up here. Great, so I can take this down. And where am I? Let me come over here. What is the future of co-education? I'm going to kind of keep the question here, but keep this bigger. Okay. As I said earlier, I've been mulling this over quite a lot recently. I think co-education is going to be the dominant form of education in the future. I think without a doubt most parents prefer their children to go through a co-educational school system. there are clear benefits. I think it's a reflection of real life. Students can learn to interact and socialize, essential interpersonal skills that they need with the opposite gender. And I think also that the quality of teaching doesn't really depend on gender. It depends on the teacher. It's one of the primary factors. So although, well, yeah, I think the co-education will be the future. But that said, it is clear that there are a growing number of private schools in the private sectors in many countries, because parents are unhappy with the state education system, and a number of these private schools do choose the single-sex model, and so I think they will continue to exist, but not as many as in co-education. Right, that's it. That's my take on co-education. Let's have a look at another question. Right. Okay, let's take this one. Quite a few of you have got the similar question. Which is better, right? Which is better? Okay, let me put this up here as well. Okay, what is the best education, single sex or co-ed? Give your opinion. Right, okie dokie. Let me just take you off. Niha. So quite a few of you have asked this question as well. What is the best education system, single sex or co-ed? Right. Well, I think co-education has a lot of benefits. Clearly, students learn to interact with other students of different gender. So they build up their socializing skills, they build up their confidence, and it's a reflection of the real working world they're going to live in the future. That said, there is some research that says single-sex schools get better academic results, but the research is not solid, and some people argue there's not enough research to back that up. I think there are some benefits to single-sex schools. It allows the girls, for example, to participate in all different subjects without any bias against them. It allows girls or boys to talk freely about subjects that otherwise they may not talk about in front of the other sex. So it can build up their confidence and help them really focus on their academic results because there are no distractions there. So it's a very good question. All in all, I think that both of them are good systems, but in a way I think that the question misses the point. I think that what makes us education better is not the gender. What makes an education system or a school better is the quality of the teaching, and how values and skills and confidence are built within the culture of the school. That is my opinion. Wow, it's a tough question, right? Very tough question. Gosh. Good, okay. Okay, anything else? I'm not going to do a big one, but if there's any other small questions. Education in the future, a lot of you asking about, and we discussed this in the Facebook group, right? Education in the future. I think, as most of you said, online education is going to be a key factor in the future. But not only that, I think other things to consider are the growth of the private education system, as I mentioned before, the move or the growth of further education, So we have kind of academic education, right? We have universities, academic subjects, but there's a huge skills gap, and a lot of the companies, certainly in my country, are identifying students coming out of school lacking the basic skills they need. And so I think the further education and the vocational education, technical education are growing bigger and bigger and bigger, and governments are investing more money in that kind of technical education because students don't have the skills needed for the future, right? Skills around technology, coding, online marketing. Students just don't have it, and those are the skills that they will need in the future. So I think we'll see a growth in the future in vocational education, apprenticeships, technical education, and we will see more and more companies investing in education. Whereas traditionally that was the domain of the government, it's going to be more, there are going to be more and more companies, private institutions, businesses investing in education, I think, in my humble opinion. Right, brilliant. So, gosh, I think we need to move on. Some great comments here. My educational options when I was in school, I didn't have any options because my parents chose everything, which I think is the norm, right? I mean, you have an option, yes, when you're 16, 17, you can choose to go to university, you can choose vocational training, you can choose to start working. I chose university, and it was great. I had a great time at university. I learnt a lot. Right. Which gender benefits more from co-education? Great question. It's really hard to say. It's very hard to say, so I'm not going to say. I'm going to move on. Guys, I know we lost a lot of time at the beginning, right, with our lovely technological problems. Let's move on. I'm going to do a quick review, and I think I'm going to go straight into doing a quick Kahoot with you to review some of the vocabulary. Now, remember, we did a big focus on today on prepositions, right, the grammar of words, thinking about which prepositions go with which words. So I'm going to focus on that in our Kahoot. So listen, without further ado, let me just set up this and you can join in. If you're new to Kahoot, this is a very simple way for us to review some of the vocabulary that we've looked at today, but in a rather fun way, or a light-hearted way. So I'm just setting it up. Let me bring you in. So we're going to do teach. Your Kahoot is now loading. Lovely. We're going to do player to player, classic. Turn down the volume as always. So guys, what you need to do is to go to www.kahoot.it. You see that up there? And put in the game pin 3143740. So go in, I think you have to give your name, give the pin, and then in a few moments we can start the game. Right, a few of you have started joining already, great. So go ahead, go and get yourself in the system, and we'll begin shortly. Right, so we've got 90 of you in, guys. The link, I can't give you the link, but it's www.kahoot.it. And if you can't get in, don't worry, you can put your answer in the comments box. Okay, we've got quite a lot of you in, so let's... hello, Gordon Ramsay's joined us. Hello, Gordon. Nice to see you here. What are you cooking up today? Okay, let's start. First question. Co-education. You have a choice of 4, multiple choice, right? The question is, mixed schools give students a for society. Mixed schools give students a for society. Is it ready, readiness, read, or readily? Ooh. You've got 10 seconds left. Remember, you can just write the answer in the comments if you can't get in. Yeah, very nice. It's readiness. Exactly. It is readiness. A readiness. Ready is the adverb. Readiness is the noun, right? Sorry, ready is the adjective. Readiness is the noun. A readiness for society. We talked about students being prepared, but this is a nice way of expressing it, right? Give students a readiness for society. Excellent. Let's see. Next. Scoreboard. Let me get out of the way. Petra is on the top. Hi Arnold, how are you? Cara May is third. So these are the people who got the right answer and the quickest. Next question. Girls may be better at languages, but there is little evidence to this up. Girls may be better at languages, but there is little evidence to blank this up. What's the missing word? Very nice. Good answers in the comments. To back this up, right? Do you remember that one? To back something up is to support, evidence to support it, to back it up. Great. Let's see where we are on the scoreboard. Petra still first. Hi Arnold, still second. Tolu Sayao has moved into third. Well done, my friend. Question number 3. We don't want young people to be bound blank stereotypes. What's the preposition? We don't want young people to be bound blank stereotypes. Gopi, it's fun, right? Oh dear, oh dear. Not good answers. Right, so we struggled in the comments box, but 65 of you got by. Correct. To be bound by stereotypes, limited by something or bound by. That was a tough one, but well done, well done. Next is Petra, still there? Yes, she is. Is Hey Arnold still there? Yes, he is. Pri has come into third place. Great. Last question, guys. I'm not sure about the answer. I need to put my thinking blank on. Come on, easy peasy. Arti, don't worry, just put your answer in the comments box. I'm watching the comments too. Ooh, most of you have it right, but not everybody. Right, look at that. So that's interesting. So 46 of you got cap, which is the correct answer. Thinking cap. But a lot of you said hat. And in the comments, a lot of you said head. No, not your thinking head. It's your thinking cap. I need to put my thinking cap on. That's the right answer. Right, remember that idiom. It's a useful idiom. So, great. Let's see who actually is the winner. Number 3, Helen, out of the blue. Well done. 314370. Brilliant. And who is top? Anu came out of nowhere, destroyed Petra and Hi Arnold, and came into first place. Well done, Anu. Excellent. Very, very nice. How did you do that? You were nowhere and then you came back out of the complete blue. Brilliant. That, my friends, is Kahoot. It's a lot of fun, but very, very strange game. Now, I'm going to wind up our class here today. Listen, thank you for your patience today, and some great comments and ideas about co-education. It's a very specific topic, but I think quite an interesting one. In about 3-4 hours, maybe 5 hours later, I will put all the notes on the website, so you can go there and download the notes, so you've got a record of the things that we've discussed today. Okay, if you want to get the notes, you have to go to this place. It's the website www.keithspeakingacademy.com, right? And when you go there, basically you'll see this is the website. If you go to the navigation bar, the free live lessons, so that's what this is, it's the free live lesson, click there and that'll take you to the area where you can download. If you want to make a donation as well to help me with this and all my work on it, you can just go here, you can choose a different level, blah blah blah, get rid of that, it's the pop-up, and then just go down and you can basically download the notes from the different classes that we've had. We've had mobile phones, science, we've had books. I'm also introducing this so that you can actually just go and click to read the lesson if you don't want to download. I'll be doing more and more of those. There's lots of topics here, right? You can go down and get lots of notes to help you practice. So that will be within about 4 or 5 hours. It takes me some time to set it up and get it ready, and that's it. So listen, thank you very, very much for joining me. It's been a pleasure. It's been a lot of fun with the technology, fighting, but I think we've got there in the end. Thank you so much to all of you. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've learned. And to let you know, on Sunday I'll be recording a video on YouTube which will be looking at how to agree and disagree in IELTS speaking in a natural way. How to agree and disagree in a natural way, because a lot of people learn very bookish long sentences, right? I agree up to a point, but I'm not quite totally, it doesn't know. It's going to be natural ways of agreeing and disagreeing on Sunday, and then the live lesson next Thursday, same time, same place, better equipment. And I will let you know the topic nearer the time. Okay, brilliant. Thank you very much, all of you. Do remember, if you're on YouTube, come and subscribe, turn on the notifications, and I cannot wait to see you all very, very soon. Take care, my friends. Bye bye.